And the dynamic of that spherical structure are the dynamic of a double torus that looks like this. See, if I took this double torus and I took a picture of it at the right angle, it would look like two spheres intersecting as well. These are the dynamics of the standing waves of the surface of the black hole, of the double torus, predicted by this theory. And here you can see the expansion and contracting side of the universe dynamics. And this is the path of a test particle on the surface of such a black hole. This is the dynamics of the Coriolis effect. On the Earth, you find the same Coriolis effect. For instance, the weather has, the patterns of the weather goes down to the equator, gets hotter, and then goes back up to the North Pole and back down towards the equator, and so on. And the one from the South Pole goes from the South Pole to the equator and back down, creating this exact dynamic. And I thought it was interesting, although I didn't mention it at the APS, that the view of these dynamics from above is a yin and a yang. Yang. And yin yang, I'm sorry. And and we'll see in a minute why that's so crucial. But these dynamics are found at all levels. This is the paper I'm publishing now. And you can see that these dynamics are found at all levels of stars and galaxies and blazars. This is a galaxy. Galactic disk have 3,000 light years vortices that emerge from the black hole at the middle. Okay? And they have huge galactic halos all around it. Can everybody see this? All around it here. And the stars move out from the galactic arm into the galactic halo and then back down and then back out. Go ahead.
What are you saying, the obvious, to say that the double taurine Coriolis effect, that we can imagine that our bodies have that same type of energy pattern around us?
Yeah, you would, and that's why I think that the Buddhist shows a vortex entering at the crown chakra and entering at the root of the spine, and then meeting in the heart center, reproducing that very dynamic. And when you look at the heart center of the Buddha, where the vortex meet, there you find the geometry of the Star of David, or the geometry of the double star tetrahedron, the geometry of the vacuum, the singularity. So it's present in many, many different traditions. And actually, I did develop a meditation technique based on this to improve and to increase your capacity to move the information through from the vacuum into your singularity. There is a physical place inside your heart that has a singularity. Your heart has a little cavity between the two ventricular of the heart, and that little cavity has the highest electromagnetic field of your body. It can be measured up to 8 feet away from you. And that's the battery of life that keeps your heart going. When you die, that singularity is no longer present, and I think that's one of the reasons that they're missing a bunch of weight that they can't account for that disappear when people die. The weight is the result of that singularity curving space-time, creating a gravitational effect that we call weight.